Hey guys, Brominating Reaper here. So yep, it's that time of the week, you know where. Yep, and honestly, I gotta say about this one, what a day. What a lovely day. Yeah, I'm about to head in and see Furiosa, of course the new Mad Max film, the prequel centered on the character of Furiosa, played in Fury Road by Charlize Theron. Recently rewatched Fury Road, and yeah, it holds up wonderfully. Fantastic movie. I cannot wait to see this. This just looked absolutely insane. George Miller is a madman and cannot be stopped. So yeah, not gonna take too much longer. We're gonna head in, get my stuff, get my seat. I'm gonna see Furiosa. So yeah, back from seeing Furiosa, of course, the latest installment in the Mad Max Saga, the wildly creative franchise spearheaded by George Miller. Of course, at a point, this was not the only Mad Max film in development. There was also a direct sequel to Fury Road called The Wasteland, but ultimately, I think due to the hellish conditions of filming Fury Road, and also the fact that Tom Hardy and Charlize Theron famously clashed during the making of the film, ultimately is still yet to materialize. But at least we've got some Mad Max in the world with this prequel. So obviously, stepping in for Charlize Theron is Anya Taylor-Joy, who, has yet to give a bad performance in my eyes. So, yeah, of course I was expecting good things from this. But is this a worthy addition to the Mad Max saga? Let's find out. So the film introduces us to a young Furiosa who lives in the green place with her mother, where where everything is rich with plant life and fruit is plentiful. Until one day, Furiosa is kidnapped by the forces of brutal warlord Dementus, and soon Furiosa is thrust into the bleak and hopeless world of the Wasteland, where she makes it her personal mission to get her revenge against Dementus, who has his sights set on taking over the entire Wasteland by force, including the Citadel, ruled over by the Immortan Joe. So obviously I have to address the elephant in the room right out of the gate, and that is, the the prequel stigma, the fact that, prequels, as soon as they get announced, it's normally a groan-inducing affair, because, it's sort of just an easy way for studios to milk franchises and get a quick buck. The thing is, though, most people making prequels are not George Miller. And I gotta say, obviously, even despite the safety net of CGI and green screens being used much more heavily than on Fury Road, I, Miller has done it again. Like, like seriously, someone stop this man, please. Like it's not possible for one man to have this much creative juice in him. It is insane. Now, obviously, it is worth pointing out right out of the gate that this is a wildly different beast to Fury Road, and where Fury Road was this tightly paced, 2 hour non-stop high octane thrill ride. This is not that. This is a bigger and much more slower and methodical film, which really takes its time, really setting up the world and the characters, with Miller making use of every second of the film's 2.5 hour runtime to really deliver a world which is rich in scope. This thing is, an epic cinematic odyssey told in multiple chapters. Quite the contrast to Fury Road, honestly. And obviously, at its core, it is an origin story. An origin story that really, does a good job of, establishing how Furiosa came to be the character that she is in Fury Road, and retroactively kind of enhances that film. But also beneath the origin story surface, there's plenty of moving parts at play here. This is of course a a revenge thriller, also a coming of age story, and most filmmakers would probably have a difficult time juggling these wildly disparate elements. But Miller, is not most filmmakers, and he does a great job of of having all these elements exist in symbiotic harmony to deliver a fleshed out and incredibly well-rounded character-driven story. And it helps as well, the performances here are great. Anya Taylor-Joy steps up wonderfully as Furiosa. She's obviously a largely silent presence, and the story reasons behind that are incredibly well done. But she makes maximum use of the minimal dialogue she has. Wonderfully selling us on this hardened presence who has been toughened up by the conditions of the wasteland. She is great. Also really good is Lila Brown as like Furiosa as a young child in the early scenes. Just really good character work overall. We also have Chris Hemsworth here as Dementus, the film's key villain, and my god, he is so entertaining to watch every time he is on screen. He's an incredibly larger than life villain. He's a guy driven recklessly by this destructive sense of ego. He's so much fun, a really, really good and incredibly entertaining villain. Easily one of Hemsworth's best performances. I also really liked Tom Burke as Praetorian Jack. He's, a badass yet incredibly restrained presence, just sort of really oozing this incredible sense of cool. He's a great character, and I really liked his little dynamic with Furiosa, which, has sort of little gentler moments of heart to them as well. Just great character work all around overall. But obviously, what you are here for is the spectacle, and Miller delivers it in spades. Yet all this big scale spectacle does feel in service of the epic, weighty story at the film's core. I mean, obviously, the film looks gorgeous. It's an incredibly vibrant and stylized vision of this post-apocalyptic world, pretty much in line with Fury Road's aesthetic, but also has, isn't just, rehashing that movie's bag of tricks, It does, have its differences that, lend itself to this slightly more heightened sense of reality. Obviously, the use of green screens, and while yes, unfortunately, there are moments where the green screens do stick out. For the most part, though, they work as a wonderful enhancement of the distinct and stylized vision Miller has for the world. It's obviously, completed by Junkie XL's score. Another cracking effort once again. Obviously, nowhere near as iconic as Fury Road, but still fantastic overall. And of course, there is the action. My god. Miller may be pushing 80, but he has not slowed down any at all. My god, these action scenes, they are, though, they're fast, they're loud, they're explosive, they're visceral, incredibly well done stuff all around. They're just an absolute spectacle that you have to see on the big screen. A couple of highlights are this big set piece on the war rig, which I believe is the one that took 78 days to film. Every minute was worth it because my god, it is this insane extended spectacle. Like, just breathless stuff. There's also a cracking set piece at the bullet farm as well, gunfire going off, explosions and stuff. It's super fun. And yeah, it also helps as well. There are some absolutely goddamn insane images here that only George Miller could dream of. Like, who else could dream up a hang glider equipped with a Gatling gun and a flamethrower? That's something that could only have come from the mind of George Miller. But, all this insane spectacle, batshit imagery, and great character work builds to a wonderful final act, which, delivers the spectacle you'd expect in spades, and also the great character payoffs that are thrillingly resonant. But it's also not afraid to get bleak and explore the moral ambiguity of Furiosa and the Mentos' conflict. It's incredibly well done, and there are some surprisingly wince-worthy moments thrown in here. And yeah, overall, Furiosa is a fantastic post-apocalyptic revenge saga prequel that, see it on the big screen to get the full George Miller experience. Seriously, it is so worth it. This is easily one of the best films of the year, and I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. So yeah, let me know down in the comments, have you seen Furiosa? What did you think of it? What did you make of, the more digital look of the film? And did you think Anya Taylor-Joy did a good job filling in for Charlize Theron? Let me know all that down in the comments. Don't forget the thumbs up button if you enjoyed. Don't forget the subscribe button if you're new. And don't forget to turn on post notifications so you don't miss an upload.